Okay, so I really didn't think that you'd pick me. um, I guess really what I have been wondering is, um, despite the fact that I know a lot of, or at least I feel like I've become more aware of universal truths, I feel like that knowing should come with a feeling of more freedom. And I just feel like I have sort of a sense of, well, a lack of sense of direction in my day-to-day life. Like, I feel like I understand universal laws, and I watch your videos, and I know what they're about, and I understand manifesting and all of these aspects about spirituality. And so since I do, I really feel like I should be able to have a grasp of my reality, but I run into hiccups, and I feel like I ironically don't know what compels me creatively in life. And I don't know what to do about that. And like, you're like my hero, by the way.
Flattering. Well, what kind of universal truths do you feel like should make it so you know these things?
What kind of universal truths do I feel that I should know
Yes.
to make it that I know these things?
Yeah. Like, which universal truths do you think
Oh,
should make it so that you know what you
the
want to
fact
do?
that you can attract synchronicities into your life, and based on the way that you feel, and
And you see that in your
and just
daily life?
understanding those laws,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
love for humanity and people, but what's reflected back to me isn't necessarily the same. Maybe. I don't know if that came out right.
What is reflected back towards you?
Conflict between the people that I come into contact with on a daily basis. I mean, I feel kind of isolated, to tell you the truth, because, like, I mean, yeah, I have friendly faces that I come into contact with at work, and I have family, but, like, I don't know, I just feel like the true meaning of, I guess, intimacy is people understanding what you understand, even though that probably doesn't sound right.
You think intimacy is people understanding what you understand?
Yeah, or, well, yeah, because if they don't, then they wouldn't be close to you. They'd kind of be repelled by you, wouldn't they?
Isn't that sort of the pain of it? I can't have somebody in my life that understands me, and so they aren't close to me.
Yeah, I kind of push people away in that sense, maybe. I don't know, can you elaborate on that?
You have a vibration that nobody can understand you.
Perhaps.
You see how, like, if you've decided that, then you cannot be a match to anybody coming into your reality that does understand you, even though they exist in spades.
I don't know, I'm blank. Like, I'm like, maybe, like, I don't, I've been told that, like, I'm not grounded enough, that, like, I keep trying to, like, escape my body or something, because I don't know why, but I've been told that. And
Do you want to be in your body?
a lot of times, no.
Much more important to just be honest about that.
Yeah, but that's difficult. And
Well, let it sink in right now with that truth that you just told me. That's an epic truth. The truth is, I don't want to be in my body. I don't want to be here. A lot of us are, see, you're in a position that I call passive suicide. And a lot of people in the spiritual field are actually in this passive suicide phase, where basically they keep trying to go to these spiritual places because they hate it here. Why else would you want to get out of body? Why else would you want, you know?
Yeah, and so I kind of feel like after watching your videos with the spirituality like 3.0 thing, that like once you integrate all of your shadow, I mean, what then? I mean, like, yeah, like you're like in a, I guess a nirvana kind of place, right? But like, isn't the whole idea behind it contrast?
So far.
Okay.
There are many things that Source itself has not decided upon. Like, will there be an end to this? That's not known yet.
To this, meaning like this current reality, but I mean, end virtually wouldn't exist. I mean, would it?
Oh, how deep down the rabbit hole do you want to go?
I mean, I've been going down a rabbit hole for a long time.
Okay, let's go there together. Basically, there are many decisions Source itself has not made. For example, is this going to be an eternal coming and going? Or are we going to become one, and are we going to be back where we started from and not leave from that point again?
Yeah, I mean, I've
What if
heard-
there's no goal we're going towards?
Exactly. I've heard something to the effect that life is kind of like a play, and I mean the
But
whole.
that's minimizing as well. See, this is the issue. God, all right, let me just be honest. I hate this aspect about spirituality. Even teaching it drives me nuts, that there's so much nuance. And anything I give you that will benefit you right now may hurt you later. That's always how it works in this business. You do one thing, it benefits you today. You do the same thing tomorrow, it hurts you. Do you see?
I see, but I mean that's what I mean. Like it baffles me. I don't.
That's why you have to care more about what's going on right now than about anything else.
But that's difficult in a society that's driven by like a culture that's obsessed with sex and
Exactly.
stimulation.
It's super difficult. But will it ever change if you play the game?
So I mean, that would imply that I would have to like. I mean, okay, so if time is virtually like, okay, now really is the only moment ever.
Yeah.
Then, and if I guide myself by the way that I feel
Yes.
on a momentary basis, then that means that, I mean, even in the face of the worst, like even like the worst looking challenge ever, if I would, you know, prevail and like just listen to my emotions instead, then something, despite that occurrence, something would eventually have to line up with me,
Yes.
no matter what.
Yes. But how many of us honestly have the bravery to do that?
That's my problem. I don't have bravery.
You have bravery, you just haven't tapped it yet.
Can you help me with
Oh
that?
my God, you guys, look at this. If you came from Source consciousness down to the planet Earth today, you are brave.
That's what I'm saying. The story sounds way too good to be true. Like, so, which is why I guess I'm skeptical about it.
Have you tried it?
I guess not wholeheartedly.
Exactly. There's a gap in you between information and application. Now, a lot of us find ourselves there where we basically hear the stories, we hear it all. We don't actually put it into practice.
But when I'm surrounded by people who wouldn't see that for the light of day. I mean, like, thank you, but I mean, like, people who are, like directly like linked to me in my day-to-day life. And I guess, you know, day-to-day life would change if I would too.
Exactly.
But I can't foresee like. It's like I just feel like there's so many like roadblocks in between because I feel like other people are my responsibility in a sense as well.
Yes. And you are asking me for a safety net, and there is none. There is none. I mean, you literally, honestly, most of us get to the point where we hate our lives so much that it doesn't matter what we run into. We just have to try something else.
That's why I bought your ticket. I mean,
And now you're on stage.
which I normally wouldn't allow myself to do, like not in a million years. I mean,
Well, I'm glad
well,
you're
I guess
up
I
here.
would. I don't know. I'm a tour guide. Which I didn't see happening in a million years either.
I'm never going to be able to give you a safety net. Any promise I make is not going to be full, it will be empty. At some point, we have to have the balls to try something else, regardless of how it could end up. Because anything is better than this. You're not at that point yet. Well, I think you are, but I mean, you haven't been at that point yet.
It's difficult because I don't know how to tell what I want also. And maybe that's linked to, you know, my understanding or, you know, my lack of bravery.
You don't get what you want because you can't separate what you want from what other people want. It's part of that responsibility issue of yours. You involve other people's opinions in what you want all the time.
Yeah.
Because what you want is also to make people happy.
Yeah. Can I, like, elaborate a little bit on?
Hell yeah.
Okay. So, like, for example, growing up, I never knew what I wanted to do, or at least as far back as I can remember, I didn't.
Thank God.
And and my dad always kind of like forced me to know what I wanted to do. And because he was afraid that I would be a fuck up, I guess.
Why would that be so bad for him?
Because I guess he has a huge ego. I mean, like in the unhealthy sense.
I wonder why you have such a responsibility quotient. If you had a father who couldn't differentiate between himself and his son. See where this all started?
My dad.
Hmm?
Or my childhood, rather.
Always does. That's how it was designed. Nothing's gone wrong. I mean, I always talk about what's gone wrong in childhood, but nothing has technically gone wrong because this was how we planned this to begin with. When we thought up the idea of the physical human and the completely dependent, like, larva of a child, we thought of this contrast. If you're exposed to all of these types of pressures, you will get out of alignment, which will inspire you to get in alignment. It's genius. I wish it felt better.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's what stumps me. Like, I just, sometimes I think, like, if it's such an awesome truth, why would we deliberately come here?
Why do people have babies?
Because it feels good.
Tell that to a woman in her 38th hour of labor.
I mean, like, you know, also, like,
No, I mean it.
emotionally feels good.
Think about it. You do it because what comes out of it?
Expansion,
Yeah. Or new life.
new perspective.
You're never going to find a woman who has a baby and then says that process wasn't worth it, even though she will be saying that to you in the middle of it.
It's just we're so, like, stuck to this, like, physical thing that, like, it just seems, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around the fact that it is all vibratory, for me anyway.
But you understand it.
Yeah.
What's eating at you?
I have no idea. And that's also what's eating at me, that, like, I don't know, I feel like there's, like, something, I don't know how to, like, act from my heart, you know. I'm so conceptual and, like, I think I try to analyze everything.
Have you started talking to your heart like it's a separate person?
Have
I
I
mean
started?
in practice. I mean not like, oh, I get the idea of talking to my heart. Have you actually done it?
I think one time I whispered to it. Like, I just, like, I don't know, I didn't
Oh,
really
we're going to
believe-
do it now. Okay, everybody, this is a super good practice. What I want you to do is to pretend that your heart is like an actual separate being inside of your chest. And you can talk to it anytime you want. It represents your absolute truth. Do you want to live or die? Ask your heart, don't ask you.
I want to live.
Was that true?
I'm not sure. I mean,
Put your hands right here.
I don't want to die.
Want your hands over your heart.
I mean, I think I'm kind of indifferent to it, to tell you the truth.
That's passive suicide, so the answer is yes, I want to die. All right, hands over the heart. I want you to tell me, like, what does your heart look like?
Red. What do you mean by that? Like, what state is it in, or
Sure.
it's thumping hard? It's thumping strong right now, more so than normally.
Does it look like an actual muscle heart, or
Yeah, it
does it
looks
look
like
like
a muscle heart.
heart?
Looks like a muscle heart. I can see blood.
Why don't you look at it energetically?
It looks blue. But then some yellow and white.
Now you're doing it. This is what I want. Like you just exited this sort of physical limited reality about an actual heart. Now you're in like your concept of your heart. Now you're really connecting with your heart. What does it have to say to you?
I suck at listening. The only words coming to me are to follow it. As cheesy as that sounds, but
Follow me. Why does your heart want you to follow it?
because it freaking knows. It's so much easier said than done, though. I mean,
Ask your heart if it's brave.
yeah,
Feels that way, doesn't it?
yeah. But why do I neglect it?
Because your head is hurting and your emotions are hurting. Why don't you ask it? What am I so afraid of?
I neglect it because I'm afraid.
Of what?
Feeling?
You're in good company.
I don't cry very much.
I'm glad you are. This is a really critical thing for you to get. Everyone's afraid of feeling. That's actually the only thing we're afraid of. We're not really afraid of losing our spouse. We're afraid of the way it feels to lose our spouse. We're not really afraid of giving birth. We're afraid of how it feels to give birth. We're not really afraid of dying. We're afraid of how it feels to die. We have a resistance to feeling. That's the difference between an enlightened person and somebody who is trying to become enlightened. The enlightened person is only a person who has become completely willing to feel everything.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I've tried.
No, you're doing a damn good job of it right now, in real time. This is a real feeling. And you're willing to have it. And it's not killing you.
It's not, but then why is it so difficult to do it if I know that it won't kill me?
You don't know it won't kill you.
I don't know it won't kill me.
That's a new revelation for us to have in this moment. My emotions, I'm having it, it's not killing me.
I feel like I kind of have like a blank slate on my like my brain just kind of blanked out. I forgot where I was gonna go next.
Good. That means you're with your emotions instead of with your mentality.
So how do I synchronize them? I mean, synchronization workshops, I guess.
Yes, but why do you want to?
Huh?
Why do you want to?
Because that's the way that I would be the best creator that I could be.
How do you know that?
Because your life force, I mean, I guess your life purpose or dominant intention comes from your feeling. I mean, that's what you do anything for, to feel, right?
Mhm.
And your heart is like the captain of that department. And so.
In most people's lives.
Wait, what?
You're leading with your head, not your heart, so it's not actually captain in your department.
Oh, okay, yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, if I would, and your mind creates reality, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So if they were synced, then I could live my dreams just like anybody else would want to.
Do you see how irritating philosophy is?
Yeah, but I'm such a philosopher.
Me too. Don't get me wrong. I like philosophy, but philosophy is also super damaging.
Really?
It means nothing.
Yeah, I'm kind of addicted to it. Like, no, seriously.
I know,
like,
and it's a good escape for physical life.
Ah, makes sense. So what do I do?
Fall in love with life, which you haven't done yet.
I tried to one time, but
But what? Tell me what happened. Exactly.
I felt rejected
By?
by what I was trying to fall in love with.
Was it a person?
Yeah.
Is that life?
What's part of life?
Yeah, it's a pinprick. I mean life.
Yeah. You mean like literally
Life.
every little thing?
Do you know what happens? This is what happens. All these people get super fascinated with what's out there, and it becomes an obsession. And so you might get out of body. You might become super spiritual in nature. But the people who progress on the spiritual path get more and more mundane. Life is about chop wood, carry water. The difference is, when you're in an unenlightened state and you haven't fallen in love with life, it's a chore. When you have fallen in love with life and you have progressed on the spiritual path, it is the thing of beauty. There is something much more beautiful in just the soap bubbles in your dishes that you wash in the morning than in an exaltation.
This is exactly, I think, what I've had trouble with deliberately using my focus. I don't really know. I mean, I understand the laws, but deliberately using my focus is what I get caught up with.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it that you get distracted?
I know you don't like the I don't know thing, but distracted?
I especially
Maybe.
don't like I don't know coming from you. Especially.
Why?
Because maybe I know stuff about you. Like you do know, more so than most people even. It's funny for me to see you in this fashion. This is how your life bends you out of shape. You're the one that takes on the world. Multiple lives as a dictator. You know exactly what you're doing. I'm offering you the vibration. Can you feel it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, big time. I'm afraid of using deliberate focus, I guess.
Because what will happen?
It'll blow up in my face, or, yeah, that's exactly what.
How will it blow up in your face?
I'll deliberately focus something wrong, or,
You're the perfect example of somebody who is quote unquote afraid of their own power. Now that's a catchphrase we use. It's absolute crap, by the way. We're not really afraid of our power. We're afraid of what our power is going to make us do because we don't trust ourselves to not create absolute crap. Thank you, Dad.
yep. Yeah, yeah.
You've castrated yourself. Congratulations. You did it to survive. So many men in this audience can relate to you right now. This is what happens. If you come into a family with a father who is either threatened by you or obviously will be threatened by you, same thing, if they see you as an extension of themselves, then you can't be your own person and be safe in the household. You either become a mirrored image of them or you castrate yourself to become not a threat to them.
Yeah.
You can't experience your own power, especially your own masculinity.
But why would they be threatened by me?
Many different reasons. Mom's giving him attention instead of me. This kid is a mess up and he's an extension of me and I can't be a mess up.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
There's like a lot of reasons why that happens. Freud called this Oedipus complex, and let me tell you, it is alive and well. And I would love to tell you that Freud is an idiot, because in so many ways he was. But he was absolutely right about this.
So can you help me with some perhaps methods of how I can...
None of it's going to work until you're okay to be powerful.
Okay.
You got to be willing to cut your dad's head off on an energetic level, so to speak. It's when the prince basically rises up and challenges the king.
Okay. I'm willing.
No, you're not. You're saying I'm willing.
I'm trying to be willing.
We got to release resistance to what bad thing will happen first.
I'm afraid that I'll get hurt if I try. I've gotten hurt in the past. I mean, he did hurt me in the past.
Like how?
Like, he abused me.
But like how?
Like, physically.
Okay.
Like, with multiple items.
Do you think you could do that back?
No, I think it would hurt me emotionally, to tell you the truth.
So what else could we do?
What, to hurt him?
No, to like...
Or to regain...
I want you to become okay with the worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario...
This is a really good way to get over your fears, by the way, is to think about the worst case scenario and to become okay about it somehow. And I don't mean lie to yourself, not like tell yourself that it's okay when it's not okay. I mean find a way to really genuinely make it okay.
I'm not sure what the worst case scenario would be.
Your heart is.
I guess getting beaten or being abandoned. I don't know, I'm just fishing here.
That's the problem. You keep fishing mentally.
Yeah.
What does your emotion say?
I feel like there's like a wall between here, like right in my neck. Like
there is.
just
You put it there, so why don't you take it down?
I feel clueless as to how to do that.
Think about it. Mind creates reality. Here's the application. Mentally tear it down.
It's much more simple than I imagined.
It always is.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try. Afraid of not being loved? Yeah, that's it.
Yep. But you aren't loved.
Hmm?
But you aren't loved. That's the reality.
Yeah, it is.
That's the real grief that you gotta let yourself go through. Your head is trying to keep you away from the grief in your heart.
I can't help but think that it feels good while I'm crying. And then that kind of like, maybe it's like a defense mechanism to stop me from crying.
No. That's the relief that you feel when you're finally allowing yourself to grieve something.
But then I stop like midway because I feel like maybe I'm not allowed to feel that way good about. Maybe
Well,
there's
I
like
just gave you
pent up
permission.
guilt there or something.
I know, but I just gave you permission. Do you remember how I told you earlier that the most frustrating thing to me is that spiritual truth will hurt you at one point and help you at another point, right?
Yeah.
At a certain level in your spiritual progression, depending on anyone, including myself, is going to be a detriment to you. Right? But right now, in this moment, you can use it to your advantage, that you depend on my opinion. I'm telling you, this is an appropriate emotion. It's okay to feel grief. It's okay to feel the relief of feeling that grief.
I just haven't felt it in so long that
But you're
it
feeling
feels
it now.
unnatural.
You're feeling it now. Just let yourself sit in it. I wasn't loved. I'm not loved. Screw those Hallmark cards that tell us that we are loved, because we're not. We use those words, but it isn't true.
Yeah.
Now, who the hell would want to be on an earth where they're not loved?
Not me, apparently.
Yeah. You may feel love towards other things, but you feel a starvation of love coming in your direction and a starvation of love from this world itself. That's why you don't want to be here.
But it's like I do it to myself because like even my mother, I reject her love all the time. Even though I know that like she needs it way more than I do. And so like I love her. I just won't express it as much as I know I could. And I love like so many things. At least I know that I do. But it's that deliberate focus thing that you're talking about, I guess. And I won't let myself have it. And
Why won't you let yourself have it? This is a big deal, what you're on the verge of.
because I feel I'm not worthy of it.
No, that's what your head's saying, because you know that's a super common thing for people. I want you to ask your heart, why will I not let myself have love? hold your hand out for a minute. I'll leave it open. I love you. You're amazing. Wait, what the fuck did you just do? You just defaulted on your student loan? Are you kidding me? That's why. You don't want to accept anything that can be taken away.
I'm afraid of failure.
You're afraid of loss. Because you did lose. And you lost big time.
Yeah, and I'm really afraid of losing.
Because
yeah,
you did
sometimes
lose.
I just don't even take action because, I mean, that's my life story with girls. I mean,
I know. It's because you have failed to grieve the original loss.
I feel it there. It's just like this is really uncomfortable to do, and I guess this is why I have so many defense mechanisms towards it.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. You can have your defense mechanisms. There will be a day where you get sick enough of this that you want to actually make it a practical application.
I do. I want more than anything.
Then you have to pick something. Pretend you're a monk walking around in the real world. This is a good thing for a lot of you in the audience also. When you are really wanting to get into a higher level of vibration or into a deeper level of spiritual practice, I want you to pick something to do and perfect that one thing. It can get frustrating, of course, with teachers that will throw a million processes at you and a million different techniques. I want you to pick one, and I want you to become an expert at it before you move on to the next. So from where you are right now, and this is the difference, by the way, between conceptualizing a spiritual practice and actually practicing spirituality. That being said, you do not need to be spiritual to practice this way.
I'm afraid to practice spirituality because I feel like it'll be void of any pleasure at all. I mean, that's a conflicting belief system that I have. And that's why I sedate myself all the time. I don't want to anymore.
That's what I'm waiting for. Just admit it. I'm sick of it. I'm done.
I just feel clueless sometimes. Because I don't know how to act.
Neither do any of the rest of us.
It's frustrating because I feel like there's so much to act upon. It's frustrating seeing the beauty in the world and not being able to do anything about it. Appreciate it. It's really uncomfortable to be naked like that. I mean, like this.
Mm-hmm. But it's freeing, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the closest that you've been to intimacy. You're letting a whole audience of people see into you. What just happened? Do you remember the little demonstration we just did about me handing you this stone and then taking it away?
Yeah.
It's the opposite of what just happened. You are already improving your vibration. Otherwise, you could not be a match to this. You just let a whole crowd of people see into you and they didn't take the stone back.
So how do I become more fearless, I guess? Or,
You just did it. You're asking me how to do something you already did. Now you just got to pick something you want to practice and do it every day. That's your self-discipline. And you do have it.
okay. Pick something is kind of like,
I know you have something. Pick one of my processes. What process are you the most drawn to? What thing?
my heart says gratitude journal.
Then do it. Every day.
Yeah, I haven't even started it.
That's the only issue. You just need to take a step from knowing to doing. Or thinking to doing. Because let's be honest, you don't know until you do it. We've seen you promise that you're going to do that now. Now we're going to hold you to it. I want this thing to be carried around with you. If the gratitude journal is your primary practice, it's going to come with you everywhere you go.
Primary practice, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
You can put all of your spiritual practice on hold, by the way, when you want to pick one thing to do. You totally have permission to do that. In fact, it's a very smart decision. I mean, put all of it on hold. I'm not doing anything else spiritual. I'm doing this one thing, and that's my commitment, and I'm following it through till it becomes my second nature. It's something they do in the Buddhist practice, and I actually think it's the most intelligent. A monk sometimes will practice one mantra for 5, 10 years at times. Till they master that mantra, then they move on. But guess what? You're not going to get this life done, and you're not going to get this life wrong. So what the hell else do you have to do with your time? You've been raised in a family which is all about success. Now, in that type of a family, you are absolutely going towards a finish line.
Yeah.
But it's not the reality on this earth, because you know it. You've watched them. They cross that finish line. There's a new finish line. So if there's always going to be a new finish line, what then?
Okay. Gratitude journal.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you one more question, though?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you do with conflicting vibrations that are with you currently? Like others is conflicting vibrations that are like just predominantly occurring in a fashion that doesn't let you really get away from it without making major sacrifices.
Do you have a concrete example?
Yeah. Okay. I live with my grandma and my mom,
Well, that's not very smart in and of itself.
but they really need me.
No,
I mean, she's like 87. And
no. I'm being quite aggressive with this particular stance. Because you've been telling yourself that to keep yourself prisoner forever.
Yeah.
There is always another way that doesn't involve sacrificing yourself. And if you want to learn how to get beyond the vibrations of your parents, good luck living with them. That one's even over my head. It's like tying yourself to the contrast and expecting yourself to make the contrast what you want it to be. That was never the plan in the first place. You can sit with that for a minute. I want all of us to get this. This is what we keep doing with our families. Since we don't understand that our families were meant to be the contrast which caused us to grow. We keep turning back in the direction of our families and saying, please become the growth.
Yeah.
You're asking the mud to become the flower petal. Now, whether or not the mud becomes the flower petal or not should not be your concern. And as long as you continue to ask it to do so, you're rejecting it as being mud. That's why, in order to move, it is so crucial that we have a period where we are separated from them.
Despite the knowing that they might suffer because of such a change?
Is it your problem or theirs that their entire happiness depends upon you?
It's their problem. It's their problem, but I can't help but feel linked to that problem.
Then it's a decision you're making. There's power in that. That's the issue, is right now you're making a choice, but you don't realize it's a choice. Make it a choice. Stay with them. But it's a choice. Do you feel the difference between the empowerment of that choice and the powerlessness of I have to? You don't have to. Do you realize that? You could pack your bags today and walk out.
Yeah. You're right. I have like limitations set in my mind though, don't I?
Huge ones. The only limitation is the mind that perceives the limitation.
But that's annoying when you understand universal laws. At least, I guess I don't understand them.
Not at all.
Not until I practically understand them.
Mhm.
Okay, gotcha.
Knowing will always come before application. This is true for all of us. We're always going to know the answer before it actually becomes a tangible reality for us. We will know we need peace before we find peace. This is how it goes.
Okay.
Do you see how we just dispelled the conflict in 3 seconds flat?
Yeah. So how can I become less analytical and more, I guess the process is right. I mean, the gratitude journal,
Yes.
but that's, journal's analytical. I mean, I'm writing stuff.
You can't write, okay, I'm ready? Spell. You can't write anything down that you have gratitude for that you don't enjoy. That means you have to emotionally feel it.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. We'll put it to practice.
She's a witch!
All right. I'm gonna get a journal.
Your mind is not the problem. Your mind is not a problem. This is your new mantra. My mind is not a problem. My mind is trying to help me all day, every day. I'm not as conflicted as I think I am. I know exactly what I want. Whether I have the balls to go get what I want or not, now that's another question.
So it all comes down to balls.
Balls which you so obviously have.
So, I mean, okay, one last point. Or maybe not, but I found, like, recently, lately anyway, I've been becoming not more reckless, but more, maybe reckless, but more carefree with money. And maybe, is that a good way to have more balls? Regarding manifestation.
Does it feel like it?
Yeah, it does.
Then yes.
I mean, sometimes, like, buying your ticket, I was like, I really shouldn't, but I don't care because what else? I mean, not in a desperation way. Well, kind of, maybe a little bit. Wow. I'm becoming a lot more in tune with my emotions right now. But at the same token, it felt like liberating to, regardless of the fact that I know I have like a finite income, that I took a step towards the direction of something that I wanted.
You have a finite income so far. That's something that's going to change.
Okay.
When you're trying to figure this out, it can be really difficult because for some people, spending money on something will cause them to feel worse. For other people, spending money on something will cause them to feel better. If you're spending money on something that causes you to feel worse, you're not going to line up with awesome manifestations. But if you spend money on something that causes you to feel good, you will line up with awesome manifestations.
Gotcha.
You are so not as conflicted as you think you are. When I look at you, I see somebody who thinks he's an absolute mess in multiple departments, and it's not true. Would you second the motion? That's what it feels like with him on stage. It's like, I have to clean up this and this and this and this and this and this. That's not true. You got to figure out what you want and go for it, and that's the end of it.
Okay. What was that mantra? My mind is not my enemy?
My mind is not my enemy. My mind is trying to help me every day.
Okay.
It's just that the people that taught me what would benefit my mind is my parents. We all saw how that one went for them.
Yeah.
We can reproduce before we're ever enlightened.
Makes sense. Okay. Thank you.